So I'd like to start by saying, and I'm going to link his recently just now released video on the topic, that someone who really mains this killer like Pixel Bush is who you want to listen to for specifics on the Skull Merchant. But I would like to discuss the fact that I think it's sad that killer playstyle variety seems to be falling down a little bit in DBD in favor of flashy killers like Wesker, Kaneki, and Blight. You know, the dash killers, the ones with the mains that go on and on about how the game is just really, really boring unless they're playing something that has a high degree of skill expression. Now, I'm not here to put that down, by the way. I love stuff like that too. But I will say, it's never been the type of killer that I enjoy maining. I like learning stuff, but at the end of the day, I'm not the kind of player that goes nuts trying to master the skinny bird or hug text or, you know, anything similar to it. I think they're neat. They have a cool place. I respect that people do and enjoy doing them. They're fun to play against. It's cool. I'm glad it's in the game. Period. End of story. I want to settle that one right there. I like them. But I just don't want it to be the only game in town. If I had a comfort killer, one that I typically return to the most, it would be Nemesis. I don't really have a main. I'm not some master killer player. You're never going to see me play as well as Rayoxium Spirit or Lilith Omen's Blight or Mr. Headache's Xenomorph, because I just don't have the focus to sit down and play that and only that. I'm really actually quite bad about it. I love swapping around. Ooh, I want to play Chucky. Ooh, I'll play a game of Tombstone Peace Myers. Hex-Build Pig. I want to play a game. Blah, blah, blah. My favorite thing to do on Halloween is play M1 Blighted Rush Nemesis. By the way, why are these things disabled for killers but not Survivor year-round? I don't understand that. They're not that strong. They're actually kind of just a meme. You should let me stockpile my blight drugs behavior, please. I just want to play this year-round. But anyway, when I'm doing it, I don't use this power. I bring coup, save, etc. I use the Blighted Rush to dash forward and punch, RE3 style, PS1, as Capcom originally intended. Why am I yapping about this? Because I think variety is important in Dead by Daylight at the end of the day. It frustrates me when we see so many people eager to ship trap killers, pure stealth killers, and M1 killers down the river in favor of everything being different variations of dash. One of my favorite things about this game is the variety of playstyles available within it, on both sides. Killers are a little bit limited in their builds, but you know, sometimes you just feel the increasing need to run more slowdown. But ultimately, there are a lot of ways that both roles can play the game that keep it fresh and engaging, at least to me personally. I guess I just don't understand why some players just want to play as and against one or two types of thing. I love it all, and yes, I actually do have killers that I have my gripes about. I find, you know, a handful of the roster to be really annoying, but I'm going to reiterate this in every video I make on the topic if I have to get it across to people every time. I'm mature enough to accept that I live in a world where some people like these things, and I would be a complete asshole to say, yeah, but let's change it completely for me. I used to hate seeing Basement Bubba, and I haven't really seen it in a long time, and I gotta say, I miss it. These days, if I'm being real, I often think, what would this game even be without it? It was iconic. It was kind of stupid, and it was kind of goofy. That's really why it was a thing more than anything. It can be a neat little break. Every match of DBD doesn't have to be the same thing. A good meme can show you that people do still play this game for fun, not just to win. I think that some of that variety has gone down a lot in recent years. Partially due to the design decisions within the game itself, partially due to shaming in the community and the drive towards making this game more based around a competitively minded scene than it has been in the past. This is, I would say, kind of a reaction. You see people that get into this game and they kind of want to turn it into another like Overwatch or something. I don't know. Not exactly. Don't get me wrong. I'm not one-to-one, but they really appreciate it more when people, they don't like the silly aspect of DVD as much. They'll tell you something like that is boring. You know, they don't have any interest in going against it. They'd rather go up against the, you know, the tournament-minded Blight or something because they're practicing or whatever the fuck. I don't know, man. And that's fine. You know, again, I like that too. Okay. I want to keep reiterating that. I'm not trying to shit on one particular playstyle. I simply think variety just changes in games. Like lately, I honestly, that's the problem. Lately, I've seen it really pivot more towards the competitively minded scene than I have like creativity even. But that's beside the point. I think there should be more room for the creative killer and survivor builds in this game. Goofy, off meta stuff would be more fun to see. And that's the way I view a lot of M1 and trap and stealth killers, pure stealth anyway. I simply think that they are definitely not meta by any means. They're just kind of neat. That's it. They're neat. It's neat to see them. It's like, oh, it's something different. Okay, yeah. It's not dodge the game now. You know, it's a little different this time. I gotta look out for traps on the ground or some shit. Even when it can be annoying, it's still, you know, what would the game, again, you just need the variety. The killers that I found most interesting in the last few years are Singularity and Uncle Known. The Freddy rework wasn't anything super insane, but to me it was a lot more fun than if they had just said, Freddy can now activate his Dream Surge and leap forward at the survivor on a 15-second cooldown. Not to say that I don't like, again, I love everything, but I'm not going to be very happy if Springtrap is more of that same 50-50 or dash energy we've been getting recently. I'd prefer that something be thematic and unique, rather than emulating proven design formulas that satisfy people who just, you know, want that fast-paced gameplay. Now, at first, when I was reading these proposed, this, by the way, hasn't even hit PTP. This is a rough idea. It's a proposed merchant changes, basically. I was thinking that it might be something to be open-minded about. I've always envisioned something a little bit more active with the drones. But the more I've seen it discussed, the more I will say that I agree that the drone launching itself at the survivor really fast just doesn't sound as interesting as something else. I'm not pretending like I have all the answers for this, but man, oh man, the more I really see it discussed, the more I can understand that this design is kind of just more of what we already have again. And if this many people that currently enjoy her more stealth and trap oriented playstyle hate it, then maybe that active gameplay from the drones should be something else entirely. To be completely fair, I think that's something for Pixel to tell you. I'm going to put a link to it here. Go and check out his video. It's more of a deep dive into the specifics of the character herself. I just think she's a funny drum lady with a claw, and her drones are kind of neat sometimes. GG's, well played, and good luck in your next matches. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.